Hi, everyone. My name is Suzie Dawson, founder of Pancake.com. And this is the moment we have all been waiting for. For the first time, you are going to get to see what Pancake looks like. It has been a year in the making. Last year, we brought you an idea. This year, we have an application. And very soon, with your help, Pancake is going to be in your hands. I'm so excited to get to show you the incredible design that we've put together for this application and for you to be able to see it, share it, talk about it, discuss it with us and give us your feedback. I'm going to jump into my presentation right now and I hope that you all enjoy it as much as we have putting this together. And here we go. The Pancake.com front end sneak peek. For those of you who may not yet know what Pancake is, it is a short messaging platform. It is super high tech. It is next generation technology. It is based on a blockchain, which provides total transparency around not just your own public postings, but also our actions as a network in moderating content. Our users will know and be able to verify that their content is not being messed with in any way. And in the rare instances where we do need to moderate, they'll know who did it, to whom, when, and why, which makes us truly unique. We have tons of cool, new, fun innovation. We've got functionality that no other platform has, functionality we invented to make this a really powerful platform for you to build audiences and to engage with other people. And we have no advertising on our platform at all. And we have no corporate, governmental, or venture capital funding. We are completely funded by you. Since we first talked about the idea of Pancake in January of 2021, we have achieved so much. We have gone through a really intensive project planning phase and hired some of the greatest developers that we've ever worked with. In June of last year, we began coding the Pancake application. And here we are only 8 months later with a functioning demo application, which for the first time we've been able to show our endorsers. They've seen Pancake actually working, how it functions, and they've all been blown away by it. In August, October, and December of last year, we achieved the proof of concepts for the core of our technology. These concepts related to our P2P or our peer-to-peer architecture, the ability for encrypted messages to be sent across our network, and another of other super cool innovations that keep your data safe on your device rather than on our network. And in February of this year, 2022, we achieved our functioning interface in place, which we've been talking quite a bit about at our monthly delivery meetings. And every month, just like we promised we would at the beginning of this campaign, we have come together and done public presentations on our campaign progress, our build progress, and keeping our community abreast of what's going on and what's next for Pancake. But this is the first time ever that we're able to show you what Pancake actually looks like. In terms of our crowdfunding campaign, it is you, all of you, who have made all of this possible. All of this progress and the creation of the Pancake application is because of you. So far, 3,479 people have donated to our campaign, which is just off the charts. Together, you've raised $173,000 US. And that is how we've been able to hire top talent that bring amazing design skills and coding skills to our team. Our website, pancake.com, has had over 2 million visitors. And our crowdfunding campaign has an average donation rate of $49.74, which is super high. So as it says at the bottom of this slide, this has been a completely supporter-driven viral campaign. Many people have heard about Panquake, and many people know that Panquake is coming. And now you get to see what it actually looks like. Our campaign is a 3-phase undertaking. In our first phase, we raised $50,000, and that allowed us to set up a multinational corporate structure. That means we own corporations in multiple jurisdictions outside of the control of US empire. Those jurisdictions allow us to protect the assets of the company, the intellectual property of the company, and also the data and systems and operations of the company in places that we can be assured we will have longevity and sustainability. Phase 2, we've raised another additional $100,000 for the Panquake build. This is what has funded the development of the application so far. And right now we are in phase 3. So we are fundraising to build our customer support teams, our account administrators, our content moderation, and our technical support. And that is what we will push towards the completion of in order to be able to launch Panquake. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, and that we've been waiting for too. What does Panquake look like? Well, the Panquake interface is going to have somewhere around 10 or 12 different theme colors. We'll have a true light theme, we'll have a true dark theme, and then a whole bunch of fun different color themes that people can customize their interface with. Tonight, I'm going to show you the interface in 3 different theme colors. And here it is. This, in our dark purple theme, is a representation of what the Panquake interface looks like. Now, I should let you know, these screens which you're seeing here tonight are approximately 6 months old. They're a little bit out of date. They're not as refined as the actual application dashboard. They don't have all of the fine-grained functionality represented that we have in the actual application itself. But we, for obvious reasons, want to be able to balance showing you what it is that we've built with still keeping the secret source of the real deal application under wraps for the beta launch. So what you're looking at here is our default dashboard. This is not displaying content, though later screens that we're going to look at do show you what content looks like. This is a series of drag and drop panels, each of these white boxes. In the application, you can resize these boxes to whatever size you want them to be. You can drag them around the screen to any position that you want them to be in. You can lock your dashboard into place so that you don't accidentally drag it around when you're not meaning to. And you can unlock it and drag it around some more if you want to mess around with it. Or you can hit a reset button and reset back to this, which is the default position for the panels. You also can pop out some of the panels as well and bring them up in front of the timeline if you want them to appear bigger in size when you're interacting with them. And then you can pop them back into their normal size. So on the left-hand side, you see the profile view. One of the really cool things about our dashboard and our workflows is that when you're interacting with content, instead of being sent to another page when you click on something or having the page reload or having to go forward and back between pages or having to open multiple windows all the time, instead, all of the content in Panquake dynamically updates. So if you're clicking on a piece of content, the profile of that user who generated that content is going to dynamically, instantly appear in the profile view. So I'll just go through a couple of elements of the profile drag and drop window. First of all, we wanted to give you a ton more bio space than you're used to. So you see this little arrow that's at the top of the user statistics. When you click that, it folds down and you can actually scroll through a much longer bio space. Another thing that's super cool is that we have got self-verification. What that means is that little orange tick after my handle, Suzie3D there, means that I'm self-verified on Panquake. Self-verification allows you to elect to confirm your Panquake user handle anywhere else on the internet that is a verifiable space that you own, and then to take that link and put it into your Panquake profile so that your followers can know that you really are who you say you are. So in my case, I might post to my website a little post that says, hey, I'm on Panquake. My Panquake handle is at Suzie3D. Then I take the link to that post, put it into my Panquake account information, and voila, people can see via my official website that, yep, I really am this account on Panquake. You could do it with a Facebook post, you could do it in a tweet, you could do it on any type of platform where people know already that it's you, you have some type of established web presence. And then that allows them to verify that you really are who you say you are on Panquake. The beauty of this is you're not having to have us as a platform verify your identity. You don't have to send us any personal information. You don't have to give us any identification. You don't have to tell us your birthday, nothing like that. It allows users to verify themselves. And that means that it's a level playing field for all users because you don't have to wonder about whether a platform is going to approve you or give you a verification tick. This is not a caste system on Panquake. This is a right that every single user has, no matter who they are. And I'm just going to show you one of our other theme colors now as I talk through the rest of the application dashboard. So this is our lilac theme. For those of you that like something a little bit softer and a little bit lighter, it's super beautiful, as you can see. So at the bottom of the profile view there, you see statistics, user statistics, numbers of followers, numbers of accounts being followed, total quakes. Quakes are messages on our system. So whenever you hear about a quake, it's a short message that's posted to a user timeline. And then you see total reach. Total reach is the total number of followers of all of the people who follow you combined. And on Panquake, that is the total number of people that you can conceivably reach with your content. And that has some relevance for some of our other functionality, which I'll talk about a bit more later. On the bottom left, you see the Quake composition window. This is where you write the messages that you send to your timeline. You can schedule them. There's an inbuilt calendar. You can pre-schedule them. You can add files or content, pictures, videos, etc. You can embed directly. You can add emojis and also GIFs. And then on the bottom right, you hit that send button and it posts it to your timeline. And the little lightning strike at the top is to turn your Quake composition window into a Thunderquake composition. And we'll talk about that a bit more too. Over on the right-hand side, you see trends. Now, because all of our content is tied to blockchain records, on Panquake, you know that whatever is trending is actually what's trending. It can't be manipulated by us or by anyone. You see the number of quakes that have been sent relating to that trend. And you'll notice too that because we have no advertising on our platform, we've been able to really rebalance the proportions of the interface and to keep nice, slim, slender left and right panels, giving a lot more timeline space. And you'll see why this is significant as we get into the media displays. Right now, you're looking at the silver theme for the dashboard too, which is more of a medium blend. Cool. Okay, so this, my friends, is what a Panquake dashboard timeline looks like when it is populated with content. What content displays in your timeline is completely dependent upon who you've elected to follow, combined with what content filters you have selected at any given time. So you'll see we've got 6 types of content filters, and those filters are always present on the dashboard, so you can turn them on and off at any given moment. So in this view, we have got Quakes selected, so you're seeing messages sent by people. We've got My Content selected, so you see the third message down is actually a Quake sent by me. so I can see my own content mixed in with the content of the people who I follow. You'll see we've got following selected, so people who I follow's content is also appearing on my timeline. And we've got followers as well. So people who follow me, I've elected to have their content show as well. But you could turn following and followers off and see only your own content. Or you could, turn my content and followers off and see only content by people you follow, etc., etc. And you can see there's a nice follow button there on each quake. And there is the awesome little Pancake icon, which is that little pancake stack on the far right of each message. And we'll be talking very, very soon about what a pancake is and how to make one. And this is in the lilac theme again. And on the bottom right, we have the Thunderquake panel. This is where you earn Thunderquake points as you are performing various functions on the network. And that is one of our most powerful features, which I'll be covering off soon too. You also notice in these content filters that you can additionally select interactions, and you can see your own interactions, your own notifications from people who are interacting with your content, or you can see interactions by people you follow or people who follow you. And pancakes as well, you can select, and they're like meta messages. And do you see there that little recycle button? That is a manual refresh function. Pancake timelines show content in time linear order. This means that the most recent content submitted to the network will always show at the top of the page. However, when we canvass users of other platforms, including Twitter, one of their most common complaints was feeling a loss of control when their application, their page would constantly refresh itself at arbitrary times, ripping them away from the content that they were engaging with and looking at. That really frustrates users. And we don't want to do that to our users. We don't want to have random arbitrary page refreshes. So instead, we've given you the ability, we've put the power in your hands to decide when you want to pull in the most up-to-date or up-to-the-moment content into your timeline. So you hit that recycle button and it will refresh your timeline to include that most recent content. Super, super cool. You'll also see the different interaction functions at the bottom of each quake. So you've got that first icon there is the replies and comments. The second one is what we call amplify, which is where you want to share a piece of content onto your own timeline so your followers can see it and interact with it. The heart is obviously the like. The little arrow pointing away is off-platform share, so that you can share that quake to any other short messaging service or social media service on the internet. The fifth icon, the little grayed out pancake stack, is how many times this quake has been included in a pancake. And that date, the time and date stamp right there, that's actually hyperlinked to the block record, which provides the proof that that content has been submitted to and published on the network by that account, and that that there's been no meddling with it, no shadow banning, no nothing like that. So that is a proof for the user to be able to verify the integrity of the content on our network. On this next view, we're showing you some of the hidden panels and drop downs. Obviously, on the profile view, you've got the ability to edit your profile content. You've got account settings for subscriptions and various other functions, log out. In the drop down, the three dots on someone else's content, you can report or block it. And on your own content, you can edit it or you can delete it. So I talked to you a little bit before about the little lightning strike icon on the Quake composition window. We have got a super powerful type of quake called Thunderquakes, and you earn Thunderquake points by interacting, performing various actions on our network. You can actually earn the maximum amount of Thunderquake points in a day within about 6 minutes of platform usage. The reason we capped it at that is because we don't actually want to addict people to Panquake. So using Panquake for a few minutes every day will be sufficient to earn you the Thunderquake points, the maximum amount that you could. There is one caveat, and that is that inviting new users to the platform who sign up and subscribe for Panquake does actually give you bonus Thunderquake points. But when you earn a Thunderquake point, you don't actually keep it for yourself. Thunderquake points are earned and then gifted to other users, users who you want to receive greater visibility and greater reach for their content. So you pick accounts that you really love or really respect or really want a lot more people to see, and you give those accounts your Thunderquake points. They receive a notification that they've received a Thunderquake point from you, and they can then spend that Thunderquake point by flicking the little switch on the Quake composition window. It turns the icon orange, as you can see there, and has the little Thunderquake on banner at the bottom of the composition window. And of course, because they see that you've sent them a Thunderquake, there is a pretty good chance that they, when they earn a Thunderquake point, might send one back to you. What a Thunderquake is a pre-scheduled quake. So you must select an advanced time into the future at which your Thunderquake will publish. And you put your little message in, your content, whatever you want to be in there. And when you hit the send button, it sends that Thunderquake message and content to every single person who follows you as an interaction. And that interaction says, hey, Suzie wants to send a Thunderquake. Her Thunderquake is scheduled to publish at this advanced date at this advanced time. Here is the content that is in Suzie's Thunderquake. Would you like to participate? Yes or no? And then your followers can say, yeah, sure, they want to help to spread that Thunderquake. In which case, at the time and date that that Thunderquake is scheduled for, the message will appear in the timeline with a special graphic animation, and it will automatically carbon copy to every single timeline of every single follower who elected to participate. So this means that your message could publish to thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or for some big accounts, eventually maybe even millions of timelines simultaneously. And then all of the followers of all of those accounts that participated in the Thunderquake can see that message. So it will gain exponentially more reach and have exponentially more impact than a regular quake, which is only seen just by your first degree of separation followers. And that is where the total reach comes into. So the total reach being the followers of all of your followers, a Thunderquake has the ability to, in theory, if everyone opted into it, to reach your total reach rather than just your followers. So super powerful, cool technology, and all based around the concept of giving, what we call altruistic gamification, building positive relationships with other users and other accounts, and giving and rewarding and supporting each other and helping each other, which is exactly what Panquake is all about. So now we're going to move into talking about Panquakes quickly. Panquakes are how you can stack a large number of messages or a lot of content into a single shareable link. So if you have got content which is maybe on a theme or all related to a particular topic or a particular event, say as an independent journalist, I'm following some event and I want to make a little collection really quickly of all the most significant content about that event, then I would just, every time I see a fantastic piece of content, I would just hit that little pancake stack icon and it will instantly backlight that quake in yellow, as you can see here. This is one that's been selected for inclusion in a pancake. And then it would add that to the count on my stack. So if you see at the top of the screen next to the help, that means I've so far selected 9 pieces of content to be added to a pancake. Once I have selected all the content I want to be in the pancake, then I hit the stack button. That's going to give me a little pop-up with a link. And that link is going to be shareable anywhere on the internet. I can SMS it, I can go post it on a website, I can email it to someone, I can do whatever. And whoever clicks on that link is going to be brought to pancake.com to a timeline that contains only the content that I included in that Pancake stack. And then the Pancake that I created when I created that link is going to be filed under Pancakes on my profile and can be viewed by anyone on the network as well as the people that I sent it to. Likewise, you'll be able to browse the Pancakes created by other people and to see the collections of the best and most significant content that they selected to be in their Pancakes. The best part about this feature is it's kind of like creating a blog post where you take all the stuff that's the most pertinent and you stick it onto one page where you can take a link and give it to people. The difference is you can build a Pancake in seconds because all you're doing is going click, 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 click on the Pancake icon every time you see a cool piece of content, hitting the stack button, grabbing a link, and sending the link to someone. So rather than taking, it could be like half an hour, even hours to put together a blog post, you can actually put together a Pancake in literally just a few seconds. It's pretty amazing functionality. And of course, Thunderquake messages, like we just discussed, the special messages to which all your followers can opt in and automatically have your content published to their timelines at the time and date that the Thunderquake fires off. And you can see here the special animation, the special graphic around the Thunderquake message when it appears on a timeline. Thunderquakes can also be stacked into a Pancake. So here you see selecting a Thunderquake message for inclusion in a Pancake stack. There is in lilac and in silver. Okay, now we get to the really sexy stuff. What does it look like when you embed media in Pancake timeline? This is what it looks like. We have got a big fat giant media view window. And like I was talking about earlier, because we have been able to give a lot more of the screen proportionally to the timeline window, because we don't have to stick, advertising banners and junk and everything on the right-hand side like many platforms unfortunately do, we've been able to repossess that space and instead give it to your messages. So you get more characters than conventional corporate short messaging services in your message, and you get these big, fat, beautiful content viewers. Super gorgeous. So as you can see, an enormous amount of thought has gone into the design and the layout. And as you can see also, the quality of the application design rivals anything from a commercial or corporate build, without any shadow of a doubt. So there is tons more to Pancake and how it functions, and tons more different types of functionality, lovequakes and cupquakes and other things we've talked about previously. But for now, this is a really great look for you at Pancake. So we have showed our application design and also actually the functioning application to a number of key influencers. Ron Placone says he got to see the demo for Pancake. It's got cool features that are super helpful to creators. Eleanor Goldfield says the Pancake front end looks great. It is streamlined and user-friendly with features that are unique and useful for journalists, organizers, and casual users alike. Kit Cabello from Hard Lens Media. We actually have 17 different public figures who have endorsed Pancake so far. Though to be fair, we could probably have had a lot more, but we spend our time building the application and not just concentrating on endorsers. So there you go. Even Father Dave, who was with Julian Assange and the Ecuadorian embassy, is totally on board with Pancake. Graham Elwood, the political vigilante. Pancake will change everything for the better. Kim.com, who's been amazing in supplying us with advice from the outset, as well as endorsed Pancake. And John Kiriakou, the extremely brave CIA torture whistleblower, said he has had a demonstration of Pancake. He's seen the fully functioning, working application, not just screens like this, and says he was left speechless. The technology is positively futuristic, and there is no other platform in the world that is so protective of our privacy. What makes Pancake different? My God, there is so much that makes us different. No corporate money, like I've already talked about, the ability to edit your own content, No algorithms, and this is a big one. We don't use algorithms to manipulate what content appears on your timeline. It is purely content that you have elected to see by following users that you want to see content from, or unfollowing them if you change your mind. We also don't have content moderation algorithms. We're making decisions as human beings about human beings. We're not leaving it up to robots and not manipulating algorithms to influence the public conversation. We believe the public conversation should reflect the conversations the public are having and not the ones that we wish they were having. No advertising, as I mentioned, a decentralized P2P network, users talking to users, not centralized systems such as the normal corporate social media applications. Pancake is interoperable with the Fediverse. So if you know about Mastodon or other decentralized social media applications, Pancake actually is built to function, to interact with and be interoperable with those applications. So we're not freezing anyone out. We're actually contributing to the Fediverse and strengthening it. We're hosted in Iceland, which I'm sure our CSO Sean's going to talk about a bit more about soon. Real human customer support, humans talking to humans, not robots, not machines. The ability to easily curate large amounts of content and share it on the internet, which is Pancake functionality I was just discussing with you. No email or phone number required to sign up for a Pancake account. That's enormous. We're not collecting your data. Your data belongs to you, not to us. Sleek professional design, open source code, single view dashboard, no cookies at all. If you visit pancake.com right now, there's no notice asking you to accept cookies because there's no cookies. We don't put any cookies or any tracking devices on any of our web properties. It certainly won't be on Pancake either. Your data stored on your own device. And we use geothermal and renewable energy, sustainable energy being hosted in Iceland, which is obviously really important for a blockchain product. Customizable themes we've discussed, our drag and drop interface, which is really one of a kind. I don't know of anyone else with that type of design in the entire social media space. We're very unique. Custom and transparent blockchain, and we won't sell your data, and we can't sell your data because we don't collect your data. We're 100% grassroots funded by the people, for the people. And our users are our customers. You are not our product. You are our customer, and we exist to serve you. So, what do we need from you? We need from you to help us to complete the final phase of our crowdfunding campaign. We are right now at 25% towards that goal. When we hit 100% on phase 3, which means I think we need to raise about another $400,000, we will tell you in a second why we need that money. But when we raise that money, we will be able to launch Pancake to the world. We'll be able to put it in your hands, and we'll be able to give you the social media freedom that you deserve and that you really desperately need in these times. So what does that final amount get our community? This is the money we will use to hire our operational and support staff. We need customer support staff. We need account managers. We need technical support staff. There's got to be someone on the ground 24/7, plugging things back in if there's a problem, looking after our network. We also need content moderators because obviously we're not going to tolerate stuff like child pornography on our network. We're not there to do that. We want it to be a place that is purely about people having legitimate conversations about, legal, protected by universal human rights conversations, freedom of communication, of expression. These are the principles that are important to us. We're not there to facilitate crimes by criminals. So we need competent and well-trained platform moderation staff, and also some marketing support staff around the launch of the product as well. So this is our motto. Your data is valuable. Your data is valuable. You are valuable. But because your data is valuable, that's why we don't collect it. We just want to facilitate your conversation. We don't want to capture you or your data And our mission is to protect you and your data by helping you to keep it safe yourself on your own device. Cool. And that concludes my part of the presentation. I am so happy and excited to have been able to show you Pancake for the first time. Like I said, a tremendous amount of work has gone into it, and we're really proud of the quality of the product that we're putting together and bringing to you. We hope that you love it as much as we do. We can't wait to hear your feedback. But there's a lot more to the story about all the work that's gone in over the last year, and about some of the other features and aspects of Pancake that make it really special. So I would like to invite first Sean O'Brien, Chief Security Officer and one of the most hardworking members of Pancake, to talk a little bit more about that. And then after Sean, we will have some of our amazing public endorsers who've had a chance to see the functioning application for themselves, to chat a little bit too about why Pancake is so significant to them and why it's so important that we all pull together, blitz that phase 3 funding, hit 100%, and together deliver Pancake to the world. Thank you so much. Go for it, Sean.
Wow, Suzie. So that interface is so professional and so beautiful. I've seen it for a while, obviously, and I've seen where we're going with it, but it just competes so well with any other design out there. So the quality of work is just amazing, and I'm so happy we can share it with everyone. You talked a little bit about milestones for the project, right? Proof of concept work that we did since June, which is not that long ago. We've done really amazing work in that time period. We started basically, looking at the way data would flow through the network, making sure sensitive information never flows to us. As Suzie said, we want to make sure that we don't have your data in the first place. We don't want it. We know you don't want us to have it. You should have that and own it on your end. So to that end, we designed something called an encrypted data store, and that user store is on your device, on your machine that you're viewing Pancake from. This model is just a really good way to make sure that what stays with you should stay with you, right? What you should own stays with you. And what's public on the blockchain as part of that global public conversation we're all going to have, that's out there on the blockchain transparently and verifiably. And those two things are very much siloed and very much separate. So that process of organizing the data and knowing how the data would flow through the network really took dedicated effort. And that effort up front reduced the amount of time that it took as we started going through some of these other phases and building other parts of Pancake. So we, first put together a proof of concept, sort of the beginnings of that network. We made sure that peers could have true peer-to-peer connections with each other, that they could authenticate and verify each other. That was a really big milestone for us, making sure that peers would be able to do that as users in the network. You're talking to a legitimate Pancake user in the network. We also set up an incredible environment, with clusters and proxying and the beginnings of that, infrastructure that we need to build, deploy, test, and release the product. So we do, obviously have that on our end. We have an interface that we're testing. We can make changes. We're using, the kinds of version control management that free and open source software projects use, doing all of that internally. And it's really a lot of fun now that we have that up and running. You really start seeing, things that were ideas put into the actual product, be tested, and then deployed on a live server. And that's incredible stuff. You all have now seen, a preview of that front end UI and the user experience around that, the features around that, like Thunderquakes and so on. We have a working prototype of that internally with, as we've said before, movable panels with drag and drop and all that fun stuff that will allow you to really feel at home in the pancake.com environment. We want you to really feel comfortable there. We want you to feel like you're in control of not just your data, right? I'm a privacy person. I talk a lot about the data and the security and so on, but we want you to be in control of your experience, to really feel respected and to build that respect, at the core and, the base level, the foundation of this product. And that's what we're doing. Additionally, a lot of the work in planning something like this, a multinational team on, 3 different continents at least, we have had to make sure that we put together a sort of jurisdictional structure. We have our bare metal hosting on infrastructure in Iceland. We use green geothermal energy, as Suzie said, but we're also working with an amazing technical and legal team, and that includes well-respected key players in Iceland, in democratic movements, digital rights. These folks are no slouches, and we're very happy to be working with them as well, having that protection and that security for the network on that sort of legal and policy end. It's only been a little bit over a year, so I'm still amazed at how far we've come. We really started the actual development process in June, and here we are. We're showing you that cool sneak peek of the front end. So I'm really grateful to have been a part of it. I keep reiterating, because it's true, the quality of not just the product, but the team, the development team, it's really something special. And to have us distributed, globally, no matter what goes on in the world, in geopolitics and otherwise, it's been really a pleasure to work so closely with this team and to build something amazing.
You have certainly been a key player, Sean, and it's been brilliant to just work with you every single day. And I love that all of the promises that we made at the beginning of this campaign, which many people may have considered to be very ambitious, have been implemented. We have come through on them. We are delivering on them. And we never forgot our duty of care to our supporters, to all the people who have made this project happen and have brought us to this point. And I'm sure that now they can have even more confidence in the quality of Panquake and that we will deliver. We just now got to pull together for that big effort to get through this last final phase 3 fundraising so that we can bring together the support teams that our customers deserve. They deserve high quality human support, people who care. And I've got to say, it's really cool too that we're going to be able to employ people to work on such an awesome and ethical product as Panquake. Okay, now we're going to hand over to some of our endorsers to give their thoughts, and we will see you again next month at our subsequent public delivery meeting. Thank you all so much for your attention and your support for Panquake.
My name is John Kiriakou. I'm a former CIA officer working in counterterrorism and the former chief investigator on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. I blew the whistle on the CIA's torture program back in 2007 and found myself afoul of the government. One of the things that I learned is how long it takes, in some cases a lifetime, to get government surveillance off your back. All these years later, government surveillance is not off my back. So when I'm on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, I'm always guaranteed to have the government, the Justice Department, the CIA, NSA, the FBI looking at everything that I say and I do. And I know that that's the case because they bring it up every time I have an interaction with the government. Well, that won't happen. That can't happen with Panquake. And that's the reason that I am so excited to be involved with this. You're talking about privacy, you're talking about transparency and freedom of speech. There's literally nothing about Panquake that you're going to dislike. Don't listen to the complainers who say that it can't work. It can work. It can work because of the transparency and the honesty that was involved in putting it together in the first place. I'm proud to work with people like Suzie Dawson and Bill Binney, people who know what they're doing and for whom transparency and honesty is important, people who have been through what I've been through. So I encourage you strongly to take a look at Panquake, acquaint yourself with the website, figure out what you can do with Panquake and what Panquake can do for you, because I really believe that this is the future. I can't wait until it's live, because that's where I'm going to be spending my time. That's the social media platform that I want to be involved in. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Graham with the Political Vigilante. I just watched the Panquake demo and I'm so excited for this to happen. And it's amazing. Suzie called me I don't know, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and said, I've got this idea. And I said, that's brilliant. And to watch how she's assembled this team of people to put this together and to see it along the way has been amazing. And now to actually see it functioning, it's amazing. I'm blown away that, I forget the number, but over $170,000 have been donated by the community because everybody wants this, needs it. We've all been throttled. I've been demonetized by YouTube for 14 months now. I've been stuck at about 32,400 followers on Twitter. It hasn't moved. And, that I get to do self-verification. I'm still not verified on Twitter, by the way. And so this is just, I was just sort of blown away in such a great way to see how it's done and all the hard work everybody's done. It's just as a performer, I don't really know how many of my actual followers on any of my social media platforms are getting to see when I have tour dates. I'm going back on the road again, tour dates at grahamelwood.com. But I don't know if they're getting it. And so when Panquake comes out, it's going to literally be a game changer, not just for indie media journalists and all that, but also just entertainers and anybody who's out there pushing their business out on social media. So congrats to everybody who did this. And it looks great. The functionality is amazing. And I'm just proud to be a part of this. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Shri. I'm a lawyer and tech consultant in the blockchain industry, served on the board of Blockchain Australia and worked across many blockchain industry startups. All I can say today is I absolutely love what, Panquake team has delivered. It's phenomenal in what I'm seeing with functionality. And the very reason why I got into blockchain in the first place was I could see that this technology could change the world, especially when it came to data privacy and transparency. And Pancake has absolutely utilized that in their blockchain, and they've delivered on this, absolutely amazing app, which will, keep, our data safe and in our control. This is, the best progress I've seen to date, in startups across the blockchain industry. What can I say? I spoke to the team about a year ago. Back then it was just plans and designs. And I was actually blown away at that point because I asked them a lot of hard questions, and I do that a lot of times. And in the blockchain industry, not everyone can give you an answer. Suzie, Sean and the team, they answered every question I had, even when they, didn't have an official answer for things, they still, addressed it and told me what their future plans was. So the team themselves are very transparent. And that's what really sold me, is a strong team behind this. I knew that they would be the ones who would be able to deliver Pancake if there, ever was a team that could do it. Fast forward a year from now, I got to see the fully functioning live app, a couple of weeks ago, and it's absolutely brilliant. The seamless design, the ease of use for users, being able to customize your own dashboard, drag and drop. It's all so simple to use, and the fact that it affords us all these protections when it comes to using social media is absolutely great. So I guess in just looking and talking about the functionality, all the censorship-free, privacy-focused, ad algorithm-free, that's all amazing. But what really got me as well is the encouragement of, positive interactions between users. So we're in a world right now where social media is kind of really damaging to our mental health and, the way we interact with people. And the model that the team have actually built, it encourages and facilitates this positive relationship building. And it's not anything I've actually ever seen before in social media. So if I had to describe Panquake in one sentence, I'd say it's the social media for good. You don't really see these type of things anymore these days. And I would probably be willing to bet that this is going to form the next wave of social media applications, for any company entering into it, because it's not just enough that we use these applications for free. They use our data. We have no privacy. They, own all they have a license to use all our, photos, videos, content we put up there. That's not acceptable anymore. And Panquake is changing that status quo. So I think the next wave of social media, Panquake's going to be leading, this change. And I guess the big thing, that I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but Pancake has been actually built off all the support and donations from, people around the world. So the build that you see today is, done from $172,000, I think, of money that's been generously and, given by people who want to see this, application release and succeed. So if you guys really want to help out, please, jump on, donate to the team, get this build up and running, because we need this app as of yesterday. Well done to the team, Suzie, Sean, and all of the Pancake team. Amazing, amazing job. And I cannot wait to see the release. So keep it up, guys. Bye.
Hi, I'm Bill Binney. I'm a former technical director at the National Security Agency. Unfortunately, I designed all of the systems that are being used now to spy on the entire world and everybody in it by the security agencies. And so I have a fairly good understanding of how they work and how they operate and how they can monitor everybody. Plus, I also was helping design how they analyze data. Which gave us, this was back in the 1990s. And so that gives me a good idea of how they're developing even today to analyze information about you. Also, the private companies and how they do it and what they do with that data, because it's very similar to what governments do. And the first I'd heard about Panquake from Suzie Dawson was about privacy and security and openness and not collecting data about people and compiling information so they could use it either against you or sell it to governments or sell it to other companies or use you as the source of monies for them. In other words, use you as the product. So in other words, they're not collecting this data or information about you. And that's really important because if they don't have the data about you, they can't manipulate you by selecting information you could see. They can't stop you from saying the things you want to say. And they cannot use that information to advertise with other companies or through other companies to you. So to me, this is the most important thing, plus the fact that they're putting in things like, for me, it's intruder detection, which is important for me because that's how other governments and other hackers and companies can try to get into your information and take it and steal it from you and use it. And so that's an important point for them on the Panquake side. Other companies in the social media area, they sell this information to governments. They cooperate with governments to share information and they get paid for it. And so basically what you are is slave labor to them and they're taking advantage of your efforts and your energies and your information. Here in Pancake, they're not, and they're not storing the data about you. They don't have that information. So that to me is the greatest point here in the Pancake program. And that's why I supported it from the beginning, because that was the promise that was made originally. And that's the one that I signed up for to support Pancake. And I think everybody should do that because then we can get rid of these major companies that are manipulating everybody in the planet. And also the governments, we can start causing them problems by not being able to get the information about you. So this is why I support Pancake, and I encourage everyone to do so also.